The fundamental attribution error is when we make assumptions in character towards the negative. However, these assumptions in character are meant for other people. See, one of the biases about the fundamental attribution error is that we make assumptions or we believe that our own behaviors are rooted in generosity, love, kindness, and caring. And when someone interprets them as otherwise, we have an emotional reaction to that. Sometimes we're hurt, sometimes we're angry. How could you think that I would be like that? And then when other people behave in similar ways, our assumptions or judgments of their character may be rooted in meanness, they're disconnected, they're uncaring. We make the fundamental attribution error. Is this a human behavior? It's an emotional behavior. And so emotional intelligence, emotional self-awareness is so integral into leveraging our IQ, because when we are emotionally heightened, we fail to leverage our intellect. We fail to bring intelligence into our emotions if our emotions are hijacking our behaviors. To be able to reel that in and leverage our IQ, we need to amplify our capacities in emotional self-awareness. We must be able to pick up on the nuances of a rumbling of an emotion. Now, if we were to simplify this, psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross presents that behaviors stem from two emotions only, fear and love. Now, these have a very strict identifiable line between the two. And if we want to simplify it, it may help for us to gain strong momentum in our emotional self-awareness. If I'm feeling love, do I know what that feels like, even as a subtle nuance? If I'm experiencing fear, do I know what that feels like, even as a subtle nuance? And because these two things are such opposites on the spectrum, it might be actually quite simple for us to start to identify and ask ourselves the question, which one am I operating out of right now? And as soon as we can identify the which one, then it becomes a little easier to be able to deploy a strategy. And is the strategy to be flexible as an EQ skill, adapt the emotions by dialing up reality testing, increasing empathy and paying attention to the trigger of my emotions, which could mean I need to increase interpersonal relationships, or I need to leverage the trust and compassion that exists within that relationship. If I'm experiencing love, how is that driving my behavior? Is it making me blind to things that are really going on? Because just because it's rooted in love doesn't mean it can't be ruinous in its nature. And so our emotional self-awareness time and again becomes the foundation of our emotional intelligence journey. It is a piece of a very big puzzle. It's a very important piece. And when it is lacking, there is inability to really drive ourselves forward in our emotional intelligence and begin to strategically shift our behaviors. Because when we rub people the wrong way, when we make assumptions and judgments rooted in meanness, disconnected, uncaring, unkindness, then people don't stick around to find out how smart we are. And we get things done together by leveraging our IQ, which means we need our EQ to be present to strengthen the relationship and the environment.